Welcome to the Rink Report, which is being brought to you by Telhio Credit Union. I'm Bob McElligott alongside of Jody Shelley. Tonight, the Blue Jackets will take on the Nashville Predators in the first game of two at Nationwide Arena. And Jody, they're going to get an opponent tonight that is fresh when it comes to having their batteries charged, because they went to Dallas, didn't play either game because of the winter storm in Texas. But even though they'll have a lot of energy, they still haven't really skated a lot here in the last couple of days. Advantage, disadvantage. How's it shake out?
It's hard to say in this environment. It really is. I see the advantage a little bit, though, towards the Blue Jackets coming off a series they're not really happy with, and getting home now, and that Carolina one-off. That was quite a sequence there the Blue Jackets went through, and giving up too much and still trying to figure out a few things. So practice yesterday, get at it today. I think the advantage is at the Blue Jackets. Now, I say that, but Nashville's a desperate team. I mean, they're down there. I think they're 9 points back of the playoff line right now. They haven't played really well, and if they stay there for much longer, there's not as much runway this year to push, to have a late push. So, got to fine tune your game quickly and get things going. This is going to be a heck of a matchup tonight. Should be two very desperate teams.
The irony is that the Predators started the season by beating the Blue Jackets in back-to-back games, and since then they have fallen off. So here's a chance for the Blue Jackets, not just a chance to get a little bit even, but a necessity to start to get a little bit even, because when you're talking about that playoff line, the Blue Jackets are right there in a big cluster. You want to separate yourself. You got to start putting together some wins.
Exactly. The halfway point is not too far away on this season. And when you have your head down and you're just playing games, all of a sudden, you think you have time, but no. And listen, it's an 8-game series against all these teams, and they dropped 2 to the Predators. You have to even up the series. You can't fall behind, especially a team that's below the playoff line. You can't let them win your series, because that could be the difference. So the Blue Jackets have to approach this as game 3 and 4 and really just try to even things up.
Before we talk about the Blue Jackets players of the present, I want to mention that tonight is another 20th anniversary celebration night brought to you by Huntington Bank. And Ron Tugnut is the featured former Blue Jacket. I'm going to have him on in between periods. So you've talked to him as well, right?
Yeah, I talked to him. He's a great Blue Jacket. He's proud to have been an original member. I told him we still have sightings of Tugnut jerseys, and whenever his name's brought up, people smile. So he's a proud member of the Blue Jackets alumni, and I hope he's around a little more. He'd like to be back for the 25th, and he said he'd like to play out. So he's done with his goaltending, and he'd like to be a player. So look out if he's any Ron Tugnut sightings in the future.
Yeah, he told me he's now a soft forward on the outside, so he can play in an alumni game. I said, soft forward on the outside, I think maybe you can play in the NHL today. That's just the way it is. All right, so you'll be able to enjoy our conversations with Ron Tugnut throughout the game tonight. Let's talk about the Blue Jackets and their defense, their team defense. They've got to get this thing figured out. You talked about Nashville struggling. Is this a good opportunity to get it straightened out a bit?
I hope so. I mean, this is a team we've seen flashes of what we expect. And you know what? The expectations are high with this group because they've played like such a well-oiled machine, especially with the defense, which includes the back check. And I really put the onus on the forwards in this position to help out the D. There's players that are struggling, but I think the forwards have got to have more buy-in. That shot from the point cannot get past the first layer. They're seeing some blocks in front of the net, but that creates more chaos and stress than get the block out high. So for me, the back check of the forwards and the blocks on the first layer out closest to that blue line have got to happen for this thing to stop the spin cycle that I feel like they get into a little bit too often.
Speaking of a spin cycle, that might be what Max Domi feels like he's in ever since he arrived here, because he had come in with great expectation and great hope. And tonight he's going to be on the line with Riley Nash. That means he has dropped in this lineup. He's gone from center to wing. He's really trying to get it figured out. How important is it for him to grab onto something here and just start to get a foothold and start to get his game back?
Yeah, I mean, and Foligno was on that line not too long ago, just a couple games ago. It's just a guy that's got to simplify and play a real straight ahead, stubborn game. And I think if he does that, he'll find himself being much more of an impact on a regular basis. But right now, you notice him a shift here, a shift there, and you're not getting that consistent play out of him. Blue Jackets have some depth. They have some players they understand. I mean, Stenlund is a player that I don't see him getting out of the lineup anytime soon. He's really a solid player on the puck, a reliable guy that's got size and a shot. So, he's a guy that they've been trying to get in the lineup. So players like that, players that are waiting, Max Domi, he's got a unique skill set with that speed and that skill. I would like to see him pop off the page here tonight.
All right, the game gets underway at 7 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30 on Fox Sports Ohio and on Columbus Alternative 105.7 FM and the Blue Jackets Radio Network. That'll do it for today's Rink Report. It's been brought to you by Ohio Credit Union. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott. Enjoy the game.